without further ado, the 12 Archangels are here, and they say they have a message of good news. So let's see what they want to share with us on this beautiful spring Wednesday. Hello, beautiful human beings. Our message of good news is to let you know that you are doing a beautiful job and letting more love in. And as more love comes in and flows into your atoms and the space between your atoms, you automatically are more receptive to miracles. Now, what is a miracle? Well, a miracle just means that you allow something wonderful and often unexpected and extremely helpful to transpire for you. What we recommend that you do is that you begin your day with, I'm willing to experience the miracle of a day of miracles, and that you hold that vibration with your intention. As we have said to you multiple times, you are God's precious children. Your brains have been created to believe that fear is sometimes even more real than love. You don't have to stay in that part of your brain. You can shift it to the part of you, that part of your intelligence that is intuitive, that is plugged into spirit and still grounded on the earth. But that intelligence says, hey, be here now. What do you need right now? What do you need right now? And as you move from that fear back into your center, it opens you to experience good news. So we would like for you to close your eyes and take a deep breath. And we say it's totally okay if visualization is not your thing just yet. What that tells you is that the creative, intuitive, spiritual part of your brain is just still a bit sleepy. But as this opens, visualization becomes easier and easier. So please close your eyes. Take that deep breath in. And as you breathe in, just say, I allow. I allow. Now we ask that you just hear that we have placed you gently under a white gold with rainbow sparkles, waterfall of pure divine love. You see, divine love is the source that created you, and it's the source of everything you need, including financial security. Whatever you need, God has. You can use a different name for God, the universe, divine oneness, source, divine source. It all works. It is that with your intention, you are saying, I am home with the energy of love, where fear does not exist. So you are under the white gold waterfall. This energy is pouring into your atoms. And we ask you to repeat, I am open to good news today. Good news. I am good news. You're just going to repeat this. When you feel nice and buoyed up, we ask that you go to the child that lives within your heart. And you ask this child, what would be wonderful good news for us to hear today? We ask that you ask this child for good news for yourself and then good news for schoolroom earth. Once you know what it is, we ask that you write it down. Try not to overthink it. Just let that intuition flow. I am open to good news. Well, I am the good news. Divine child, what does good news look like for us today? And what does good news look like for schoolroom earth? Enjoy. We will be back in a few moments. And so now what we ask for you to do is just lift up. You're just going to give it back to Spirit with your intention. You just say, here you go, God. This is what good news looks like to the child that lives within me, your divine child. This child is symbolic of your heart being a messenger for your soul. And then you're just going to lift up. You say, here you go, God. This is what good news looks like to me for schoolroom earth. I thank you for providing me with what my heart has asked for, or something even better than what I can comprehend in this present moment. Now we ask, there you go, lifting it up. Now we ask for you, while you're still under this white gold rainbow waterfall of pure love filling you from the inside out, to invite all of the selves, that means you, that live inside of you, that have ever felt unwanted for whatever reason, that you've ever felt that you were not the good news that you would like to be. And as you just allow with your intention these selves to flow up from your subconscious and step into the love that you just say to these selves, Well, you are my good news. I thank you for being so willing to be filled with love and to come home to my heart. These selves are the bringer of miraculous good news, for you see that when the subconscious, which comprises 90% or more of your reality generating energy, when it lifts in vibration, your outer reality must change, for this is the law. And as you do this, you are helping to change schoolroom earth for the greatest good and highest joy for all concerned. So you see, these subconscious selves that have felt in whatever way that they were not good news because they felt unwanted or less than in some way. You're now acknowledging them and letting them know, well, you are my good news, for as you lift up and fill up with love, life gets better. Life gets better. And so when you are ready, we ask that you just say, welcome home, good news selves. Welcome home to my heart. I call my energy and my self-esteem, I call it back to me. I call it back to me. And then we ask that you just say a few times, I am God's good news. And if you prefer, I am the universe's good news. I am the Creator's good news. I am the good news. And I am grateful to be a bringer of good news to someone else today. Now, we continue. We have the goddesses of the Ascended Masters of the White Light and Sound Sisterhood and Brotherhood. They have gathered to help you let go of victims and victim consciousness and I can't. So it's what fear does. You see, fear gets in there and it makes you forget that you are a divine being, that you have access to divine power. In order to reach that power, it's always within you, you do have to lift up your vibration of your mind so that you remember to ask from a place of love and gratitude. And what can pull you down into the quicksand of misery is believing that you are powerless and helpless, that you are a victim of your circumstances. You see, you can only be a victim of your circumstances when you hold on to that belief. We are not denying that you have had experiences in your life where you have felt hurt and where you have felt victimized. What we are encouraging you to do is to let those experiences return to the Creator so that you make room within your being to experience something better. So we ask that you just let the Divine Mothers fill you with ruby, pink, and gold energy, emotional safety and security. And we want you to focus on any discomfort or aches and pains, anything going on in your colon or lower intestines. And then you're just going to say, wherever the victims are within me, I welcome you to rise up. I welcome you to hear that I have good news for you. You don't have to be in that story anymore of where you feel that you are trapped, or where hurt and abuse and lack is the same old repeating movie. I have good news for you. Today is a day of change. And it really is, because the planet Pluto, Archangel Zadkiel, turns retrograde in the heavens. And whenever Pluto changes in direction, it facilitates an atomic level change. It is a day when the victims that have been stuck in your bones can now say, enough, enough pain, enough of being attached to what happened in the past. Enough. So we ask that you just invite your victim self to swim with you in a ruby, pink, and gold lake. And your job is just to say, victims and victim consciousness, I acknowledge you. I acknowledge your courage to have endured what you have endured. And it is time for this to be over. I release you to the Divine Mother. I give you to the Divine Mother for healing, for transformation, and for a new beginning. I release you. So we're going to give you a little time to just welcome up the victims and the victim consciousness, and to let them know that you have good news for them. Today is an opportunity to change what has not changed until today. We will return. The Divine Mothers, the goddesses, are with you. We are here. We are the 12 archangels together with your helpers in heaven. And these helpers include your higher selves. Your higher self is your oversoul, the bigger part of your soul that always stays in heaven while you are traveling through the experiences of schoolroom Earth. Earth is a very powerful and potent school and experience, as you know. For you are all so connected that when one of you experiences loss and suffering, you all experience it in some way. Often this is in your energy field. But here is where you are so powerful. As you welcome in change to your DNA, to your molecules, to your atoms, and into your experience, you change humanity and all of Mother Gaia's creatures and what they are experiencing through you. The animal kingdoms and the plants and trees and the rocks and the mountains, they actually have, in some way, if you can comprehend this, clearer intelligence than human beings often have. And that is because they do not have to experience fear in the same way that you do. It does not mean that they don't experience fear, but it's very, very different. Their atoms are always fully plugged into oneness, so they can observe fear without fear controlling them, digesting them. So our message to you is to help you be more like, the beings that cover your planet, so that you can understand you are not powerless. Through you, the world changes for the better. Absolutely, this is true. And so what helps you the most to step away from fear so that life is good news, so that you really are the bringer of good news? You experience good news and hope and joy. It's everywhere around you. And your daily life begins to feel far more like heaven on earth. You have heard us speak to you about this before, but you will find, beautiful human being, that every time we repeat a lesson, we do it in a little bit of a different way, because we are working with you with vibration and frequency to lift you up. So the topic may feel familiar, but the method and the science, the support, is always a bit different. We speak to you of the art of surrender. When you say the words, I surrender, it is a command that fear cannot touch. Fear doesn't really know what to do with the words, I surrender. Because you see, you are saying, I surrender to love. And I understand that I am surrendering to the greatest power in the universe, the power that created me. So when you say the words, I surrender, and you take a deep breath in, you are putting yourself into alignment, oversoul, heart, soul, body, and your conscious mind is doing what it can to be a part of this alignment. To say the words, I surrender, and breathe brings you into the present moment. That helps your intuitive mind to open so that if there is a problem, the solution flows through. Let's say, as an example, that you are trying to figure out how to pay your rent or your mortgage or your car payment, and you haven't figured out how that's going to happen. You really don't know. Well, what we say to you is you don't necessarily have the answer, but God does. And if you want to know what the solution is, all you need to do is breathe and say, I surrender. Here you go, Creator. Here you go, Mother, Father, God. Here's my problem. I don't know how to solve it. Thank you for solving this problem. Thank you. I surrender to thy will. Now, you're not giving your power away. You're surrendering the will of your ego, which really can't see, because it's the size of a garden pea and a great big brain that, well, is comparable to a watermelon. So your ego cannot see very often. So when you say, I surrender, here you go, here's my problem, then your oversoul and your guides and your helpers, we send through the solution into the bigger part of your brain. And as that ego, the size of a green garden pea, relaxes, it says, oh, look at that. There's 5 solutions when I thought that I didn't even have a single one. And then we say to you, I surrender. I surrender, soul. You show me which is the best solution for me. I allow the best solution here. Thank you for showing me the way forward. Now, your soul can't really show you the way forward unless you are grounded in the here and now. If your mind is way out there in the future, then your soul has a challenge because your energy is scattered. That's why we ask you to take a deep breath and to say, I surrender. Now you may say to us, but angels and higher self and helpers in heaven, why do I still go into a panic? I mean, it's for real. I go into a panic. I can feel that anxiety racing in my veins. And I am doing what you've asked me to do. I'm saying I surrender. We say to you, beautiful human being, it is worth your time and effort to ask a simple question. Why am I afraid? Why am I afraid? And you listen with ears that hear. And then whatever the fear is, you thank it for teaching you. Because as we talked about in our last conversation, fear is your teacher, not your enemy. And so when you find out what's really causing the panic, simply by asking, then you can say, well, thank you, fear. And then you can say, well, thank you, Divine Source, for filling this need. Wherever there is a fear, there's an unmet need. Thank the fear for being your teacher. Lift up the unmet need. You see, all of this happens with two very simple, powerful words. I surrender. I surrender that I'm not here all by myself. I surrender that divine oneness is supporting me. I surrender that I'm not supposed to know the answer. I surrender that I already know the answer. And because my higher self knows. And I just need to open my ears. So we are going to give you some time to close your eyes and take a deep breath and to say, I surrender. Call that energy back in to the present moment. And then you're going to surrender whatever the problem is that you may be trying to solve. And if you feel fear or panic, go ahead. Ask, why am I afraid? What is my unmet need? We thank you for helping not only humanity, but schoolroom Earth through you. You see all the other beings on your planet. They know how to surrender, for they live in the moment. Listen with ears that hear. Our final message is to say thank you. Thank you for opening your mind to allowing the other beings on your planet to show you a new way of living. Just to be the reminder of the power of living in the moment. Being in this step before you try to leap to the next step. One step at a time. One step at a time. Moving from any old story of lack into abundance. We truly trust that you will find that our newest courses change your lives incredibly quickly, for this is the way we have designed them. It is worth your time and effort to go through wealth recreation and inner worth transformation gradually, one step at a time. Repeat the classes more than once, for you will feel the shift in your being every class you repeat and listen to. Do this thoroughly before you move to our guide for creating a new financial reality. It just makes it happen faster. And we know you very well. We know that you like fast. You don't necessarily like change, but you do love more heaven on earth. And we feel you are ready to know the truth. Blessings of this joyful day. And thank you for being good news. Embodiment of good news. A messenger of good news. You are the Creator's divine children. You're far more powerful than truly you can possibly comprehend. But you can grasp it when you breathe in and you say, I surrender to my greatest joy and my greatest power, the power of love. Blessings, blessings, blessings. Hello, everyone. This is Belinda. And wow, that was quite some energy that is pouring into all of us. I wish you a most awesome, wonderful Wednesday. Our next Illuminating conversation is going to be in just a week. It will be on May 1st, but I will send out a reminder. Take care. Much love. Bye-bye.